Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish up our Dollar Tree haunted houses turned into vintage old country churches, and how we're going to finish up the sign that we're going to actually attach this to. So if you missed the video yesterday, you can go back whenever it's good for you and watch that video. I'm going to take you through in about 10 seconds what we've done so far, and then we'll finish it up. Okay, so this started out with a wood cutout from Dollar Tree that had little points on it, and it was it really reminded me of a haunted house. So we cut our wood a little bit to make it more church shape, and then we took one of these. These are self-adhesive wall tiles that look sort of like those vintage tin ceiling tiles that people had way back when. So we took one of these, we traced it, cut it out, and hot glued it on our church, and then we applied one coat of this plaster Waverly acrylic chalk paint from Walmart, but you can use any color you want. I think a creamy ivory works best. And then we applied some Waverly wax, and we stained some popsicle sticks that we chopped up and made to fit, and we got this little church. Okay, so it went from this to this. What do you think so far? All right, so then I glued everything together. Our little church has two roofs. It has these little double windows, a triple door, and then a little window up here at the top. I have one item that I still have to get that I'm going to have to look around for, and that is a cross that's the right size and scale for this, because I don't happen to have one, and our church definitely needs to have a cross on the steeple. But anyways, so it's gone from, you know, this to this to this, all right? And then, I'm so sorry about that. I'm getting a phone call. Okay, so this is where it is right now. And then I took a 9x14. This is 12x12, but a 9x14 little wood panel that was $3 from Dollar Tree in more of a rectangle shape. And I painted the whole thing front and back with this same Waverly chalk paint. I did all this off camera. And then you guys gave me so many great suggestions about what to do with our background treatment that it was honestly hard for me to decide. But one or two people said, hey, don't you have some stencils that look like vintage sheet music? Oops, so sorry about that. I almost tipped over my camera. And I said, you know what? I actually do. So if you go to magnoliadiy.com, that's my website, you can see that there's two different sheet music combinations. This one is called Amazing Grace. It looks terrible because I've used it a lot, even today, and it's proof that it's a great stencil. Anyways, you can create a ton of different things with it, but I used this one, and it has another piece that goes with it, which I think says Amazing Grace. Okay, so they're a two-piece stencil. I also have this other stencil that is called the Old Rugged Cross, and it has a sheet music for that song, which I love both of these songs, and it has a cross. So it was hard for me to decide. I had a ton of different options, from using a napkin to decoupage the interior of this to using some actual vintage sheet music, and I opted to do this. Okay, so let me show you what it looks like right now. I am still surprised after being with Magnolia for around 2.5 years. I am still surprised how crisp and awesome some of these stencils come out. Look at that. So I just laid my sheet music and I pushed it up a little bit towards the top because I didn't want my roof of my church to cover up too much. And I used this color. I I don't have any brown chalk paste, so I'm about to place an order and get some. I used all of my brown chalk paste up on another project. Anyway, so I used this, which is called Cool Gray chalk paste, and a squeegee and my stencil to get this. Okay, it's still not finished, but let me show you basically where we're going, and then you tell me what you think. Okay, the other thing I did, which was super messy, I mean my fingers are still a mess, was I took my, remember I showed you guys this easel that I had, that I purchased for $3 in the $3 and $5 aisle at Dollar Tree Plus. These are so nice. So I used the brown Waverly wax essentially to wax or stain this whole thing. So it, too much stuff on my desk. So it basically coordinates with our church. What do you think about that? I mean, I could have just put my church here, but it doesn't look finished to me. Okay, now the other thing is I stained the back of my church. So, well, I used the wax to kind of stain it, so it would all tie together. If you could see the back a little bit. And, okay, so what we're gonna do, that's gonna be kind of different, is instead of laying this flat inside of this 9x14 wood panel $3 thing that I got at Dollar Tree, instead of doing that, oops, we're gonna do it on this side, we are gonna make it be dimensional. And it's gonna be so cool. And also I'm gonna stain the edges of this so it all makes sense. But let me just show you roughly what we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be using some of these little Jenga blocks that you can get at Dollar Tree to make my sign. I'm not sure how many I'm gonna need, or if this is really even gonna work. They're gonna be tall enough. I might not need to. I don't think they're big enough, darn, or thick enough. And maybe I don't even need to do it. But my plan is to stain the edge and then glue my little church to it. What do you guys think? Sort of off center. And then we'll put it in our easel, and it's gonna be fabulous. But before I jump to that, I wanna show you this project that we did for a Preston crafting episode, like maybe a month and a half ago. It's this. And it's very, very similar. I used a Dollar Tree star and some of this same Dollar Tree self-adhesive wall tile. Did kind of a very similar treatment to it, only I used a lot more brown on it, and then I painted this wood piece, and I did a dry brush technique on it, on the edge, and I did the same painting and dry brush technique on the easel, and I love it. What do you guys think? Isn't it pretty? So I think this is going to be fabulous too. All right, so let's get to that. All right, so first thing I want to do here before I start gluing is I want to apply some wax just to this top part. And that's going to be a little, probably a little bit of a challenge. I'm just using this dark brown wax that's Waverly brand that comes from Walmart is where I get mine. I'm looking for a brush. This will work. And we're going to need some paper towels. And I'm probably going to need some wipes. Okay. And I'm just going to try this out and hope that it works. Just gonna slowly take my time and paint this wax on the outside edge of my little wood panel. Whoops. I might have to paint the very edge of it too. I don't know. We'll see. And then I will wipe it off as we're going along. Oh, and I do like it darker. I did get some on the outside by accident. So let's see if I can clean that up. Oh yeah. No problem. Okay, so let's keep going. So as you're hopping on, say hello. Let me know that I'm not just standing in my craft room talking to myself, which I do that too, but feel free to ask questions. If you want links to these sheet music stencils, say link or sheet music or something like that in the comments, and I'll get you a direct link so you don't, oh shoot, so you don't have to go hunt it down. This may be a little more challenging than I thought. Anyways, I don't want to get it on the inside right here, and I definitely don't want to get it on my design. This may have been better to just use a stain, but because I used this dark wax for the other parts of the project, I wanted it to all make sense together. So what do you guys think so far? This is one of those projects where I had just a little idea. Hey, I bet I could turn this haunted house into a church. And then it grew from there. Oops. Oopsie. It grew from there and evolved. And I am loving where it is headed. And this same idea that we're doing here with a Dollar Tree shape, the Dollar Tree adhesive wall tile, and the wood panels, you could totally do any kind of design that you wanted and use all these same components, like maybe a big pumpkin or something, and make a beautiful sign using all these same techniques, but just have it not be a church if you didn't want a church. So I am making a little bit of a mess, which is a bummer. But this wax comes up pretty easy. So on the places where it dripped, it's coming up okay. I just want to get the drips up before they have too long to dry. Then I'll get my dryer out, we'll glue it, put it together, and I am going to replay today my Christ in Crafting from a little while back where we talked about the song Amazing Grace. Because it's such, I know it's not Sunday, at least if you're watching this live, it's Friday, but that song has such a beautiful story behind it. And that's what I talked about during the Christ in Crafting the week that I used it. And I just want to share that with you. Okay, I think what I'm gonna have to do is do most of my cleanup after. Just want to get the big oopsies off. Probably even use a wet paper towel. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. I'm telling myself what to do here. Also, I could come back and repaint any areas where it's really super thick or messy. This kind of looks like wood. I mean, it is wood, but it kind of looks like stained wood now, and not just like I've applied wax to paint. Okay, let's say that this is good enough for right now. Let me get rid of all my stuff and get my hands cleaned off. Thank you, Debbie. She says it's beautiful. I'm excited about it. This piece, let me do a little math. Okay, it had one wood shape that was a haunted house, $1.25. One of these wall tiles, $1.25. Then the frame itself was $3. Or the wood panel thing was $3. And then 4 cents worth of chalk paste, one use of my stencil, a little bit of inexpensive paint from Walmart, a little bit of wood stain from Walmart. This was $3 also, so I've got $8.50. Well, let's add another 50 cents for the use of the stencil, the stain, and that kind of stuff. And we're at roughly at $8.50. I may still, I'm seeing messes everywhere I look. I may still come back. I do need to find a cross for the top of my church. But I may still come back and add some more, something to it. So if you guys have ideas, tell me. Let me just get this one little thing cleaned up here. Okay, let's, oh my gosh. Every time I touch it, I get something smeared. Heidi, stop touching it. Let me take it off of here. And I'm going to get my heat gun. We're going to dry it. Just a little. And then we'll glue the frame of the church to it. And then I'll show you what it looks like. So, when this is all fully dry, I could come back and give it a quick spray with a clear matte sealer. I don't think it's absolutely necessary to do that, but if that is something you want to do, you certainly could. It's probably not going to get handled very much. Okay, so let's get our church, and put it on this side, I believe. And I want to put it over far enough that this side kind of disappears. So basically we're just going to put a bunch of glue on the rim here. This is so pretty. What do you guys think? So it still for sure needs a cross. But other than that, I think it's pretty wonderful. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Let's hold up the other one that we did. Tell me in the comments what you think. Ooh. Here, let's put this. Sharon Biting says she loves it. Peggy Justice says she loves it. Melba says she loves it. I'm so glad. I love it too. It's different. It didn't, you know, it was one of those projects that just sort of evolved. I didn't have the finished thing in mind when I started. So now I'm going to be on the hunt for some small scale little cross that I could put right here. I do have a blingy one, but I don't, this is very rustic, and I don't think that would be the right style to put on it. Anyways, I'm excited. Do a this or a this if you like it. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a link to either one of these sheet music stencils, or to chalk paste, or really to anything else, and I'll be glad to grab those for you. Feel free to sprinkle, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to go back one day and watch the video where we turned a Dollar Tree haunted house wood cutout plus one of these self-adhesive wall tiles into a church. So that was yesterday. I did that step. And look to see if you've liked and followed DIY Dreaming and turned on your notifications if you want to see what's coming up tomorrow or on Sunday, which for Christ in Crafting this week, I've been studying and praying about it already. We're going to use this new stencil that says P-R-A-Y. It's very, it's like capital letters. It's very simple, but it's beautiful. We're going to talk about what P-R-A-Y stands for. We're going to talk about different kinds of prayers. We're going to talk about our position, not physical, but our position to God when we're praying. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of Bible verses too. Don't know what the project's going to be yet, but I hope you come back here on Sunday for Christ in Crafting. And if you do want to see what's going on, if you like and follow this page and do a this or a this, or say something that increases the odds that Facebook will actually show it to you. If you're watching on YouTube, I would love it if you would take a second to like my channel and subscribe. And feel free to say something in the comments if you would like to. All right, you guys have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. I will get close-up pictures I'll put them here in the comments. I'll also put them just on DiyDreaming, and I'm going to go back and find this video from a Sunday a few weeks ago where we talked about what I called it was what's so amazing about grace. And it was really good, so be looking for that if you want to watch it. All right, I'll see you guys later.